Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wild and Wild podcast. So today is just me and I'm talking all things growth, how we can expand your reach in your business and how you can attract abundance into 2026. So first, I just want you to pause. Take stock of how far you've really come. Right now in your life, in your business, I'm sure you've been through such ups and downs as we do as female founders or creatives or entrepreneurs. And we're going to go through a journey today. I'm going to help you step by step build your brand, your business, and yourself to be the best version and to really step into 2006 with such clarity and such growth mindset. And I really feel after, 7-8 years of being in business and as being the founder of Wild and Wild, I've learned so much. And that's why I set up this podcast. That's why I want to come together on a weekly basis and give you real firm takeaways that can help you in your life. So let's jump straight in. I want you to know that you are your greatest asset. This is so key because without you, your business would not thrive or survive. So you have to put yourself first. You have to start looking at your health, your well-being, and creating some kind of balance in your daily life so that you don't burn out, because this is the biggest factor that affects women. At all my events that I do, women are burning out. They're serving so much to others and their family and their friends, but they're not reinvesting back in themselves. And when we look at the top 1% of people, the businesses that have been the best, or, those millionaires, those billionaires, the top 1% are doing self-care habits on the daily. And it's so important. They're doing things like visualization, yoga, mindset work. All of the things which I'm going to go into. I've got a really inspirational book I'm going to recommend to you in a minute. But can you give yourself just 1% more presence every day? Could you start your day with some more rituals that'll help you have the most creative ideas, the most focus, the most abundance? So let's think about this for a moment. So I wanted to jump into a book that's really, really inspired me. So I have got my phone here just to give me some inspiration because I've written down some notes that I want to share with you. Now, this book I read many, many years ago, and it's called The Miracle Morning, and it's by Hal Elrod. Now, he basically was in quite a fatal accident, a car accident, and he completely had to rebuild his entire life. And he started to do loads of research into what these 1% of people are doing on the daily basis. So after hitting rock bottom, he called these things the savers. And he built 6 habits that said could transform your life even before 8 a.m. in the morning. So setting your alarm a little bit earlier in the morning, getting up before the kids do or before you go to work, and just doing these things can really save your business and your life. So I'm going to go through these, then I'm going to go back into some more growth tips from my own experience and from Wild and Wild. So I'm going to break them down for you first. So the savers, letter S is for silence. Starting your morning with stillness, meditation, breathwork, gratitude. And remember that these things only need to be for a few minutes. So there's a great doctor that locally, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, he does the 3 M's daily, like the mindset movement, meditation or something. And he basically talks about that you can just do these things for a minute each. It doesn't have to be much. Even when you're brewing the coffee in the morning, just doing some affirmations, or when you are getting up out of bed in the morning, you could just say some gratitude. So whatever brings you peace before the world gets loud, it grounds your energy and sets your tone for the day. Next one is the A of savers, is affirmations, like I just mentioned. Speak power into your day. Instead of, I'm tired, I'm feeling overwhelmed, we all have those mornings. You say to yourself, I'm capable of attracting abundance and calm and balance today. And if you struggle with affirmations, like I know a lot of people say, I can't do affirmations because I just don't believe that I'll have loads of money because I look at my bank account and it's low, or things like that. Maybe start your affirmation with, I am open to attracting more money. I am open, or I allow myself to be abundant, so you don't have to say, I am a money magnet, And I really believe in affirmations. You can also do them with something that I've been doing recently is EFT, which you do tapping. So when I am brushing my teeth in the morning, I might just do some tapping and say these affirmations to myself. And I'm a big believer in habit stacking. So if you can do these things for up to 30 days, it just becomes a routine then, and you implement it into your daily life. So I really recommend affirmations. Your words shape your reality, and repetition rewires your mindset. And there's a lot of science behind this to back it up. V is for visualization. So closing your eyes, even for a moment, and picturing the version of yourself that has your highest goals and your highest potential. Feel it, see it, and believe it. Now, this comes back to the law of attraction, what we think about, we bring about. And I know it can sound woo-woo to people at first, but this really works. And this has been number one in how I think I've attracted such success in my business over the years. I drew out a vision board. I put all of the community in, the thousands of women I wanted to attract. I even drew out like the wellness cafe we had and everything. And just looking at it years later, it's incredible to me just to see it's all come true. Like when you can visualize in your mind, you can actually bring it into existence if you're very clear on your goals and what you want to attract. Your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and experience. So you're literally rehearsing success. Just like we hear about when you visualize yourself, winning a football game or, whatever sport you're into. They do this with athletes. It's actually part of their mental toughness training, because if you can visualize, it gives you more success actually when you're doing that thing. E is for exercise. So this is one that I feel so strongly about. When we move, it's like a medicine for the body and the mind. So movement is that medicine that wakens you, gets you clear vision. And it can be anything for you. So yoga or walking, stretching. It's about shifting your state, and it's not about perfection. So even if you can just do 5 minutes of stretching in the morning, that actually is going to be a more consistent habit than doing an hour's yoga class every day, because it's just hard to stick to, right? If you can just implement these small habits daily. R is for reading. So this Hal Elrod recommends that you just grab a book while you're having your breakfast or sometime in the day, and you can just read a little extract from it to inspire you, something uplifting. Feed your mind before you open your inbox. So maybe before you start scrolling. 10 pages of growth, mindset, or spirituality a day compounds massively over a year. So just think about that power. Even just listening to podcasts or reading can really help you learn and you to grow. And then the final one is S for scribing, or what we call journaling. Write down your thoughts, your gratitude, your wins. And I often do this at the end of the day, actually. I think if you can get these habits in at any time, you can fit them in. Journaling helps you make sense of the noise and spot your own progress. So just kind of like a mind dump to your page at the end of the day, just to let out any stress. You can even write things that you want to achieve that week so you can look back on them. I think this is really important. And overall, this book really highlighted that these are things that have really helped me over the years. And I feel like everyone should go and read it. It's amazing. The Miracle Morning. And it isn't just about the morning itself. It's about who you become when you commit to showing up for yourself every single day. So as we head into 2026, I want you to think about your own version of this. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. So perhaps you can pick some of those things that you now implement, even just one or two, because you are your greatest asset to your business, your family, and your life when you're feeling your best. If you win in the morning, you really do win the day. And when we start every day grounded, grateful, and intentional, that's where the magic of abundance starts to flow. So now I just want to touch on from this. I feel like once you start to look after yourself more as a business owner, it's essential. That's why I started with this. Now you can start to expand your reach, because when you're feeling good, I feel then you can expand and give value to others. So 2026 is the year to expand your reach, build sustainable income, and make your impact globally. It's actually the year of the horse, and it's powerful. Like I feel like the last year has been about shedding and letting go. And now for us, this feminine rising, it's for us women to really step into our power and become our most powerful, like visionary selves. And I really want to share some more insights. So a really powerful way, I feel, is to expand your reach online. So perhaps it's for you, you want to start a podcast, write a book. But the best thing I think you could do, every woman listening, is to create an online course or a membership, something that you can reach thousands of people across the world and be making money while you sleep. This is the dream, right? So with whatever you're doing, whether you're a photographer, you make clothing, a digital designer, I don't know, whatever it is, a graphic designer, you can create courses online to teach people the skill set that you already have. And you create once and you can sell forever, building recurring revenue and reaching thousands worldwide while staying aligned to your mission. And we actually had my beautiful friend and mentor, Sarah Lou Jones, come in and do a talk. And I just wanted to share a little bit about what she recommended, because there's some incredible sites out there. Like even her site, Center of Excellence, is amazing. You can actually put your courses on there and then make income, and they give you a percentage of earnings. So you can use other online course sites like Kajabi, Teachable, Udemy, let you turn your experience into income. So I just wanted to touch on that because it's so important to start thinking big now for your business, to start bringing in income. But then I wanted to go back to expanding your reach. So for me, this is really, really important. I feel like everyone has a power to grow more on socials, in their business, building their community. Something that's really important to me is that I go on social media daily. Usually I tend to use Instagram more than the other channels, but I will engage with my audience. So I'll try and give them value. And this is something I feel so strongly about, is we don't want to just go on to these online platforms and sell all the time, because people are bored of that. It's a new age where people want to feel that you care about them and you want to nurture them. So what I want you to do is start to give them value. Perhaps say, like, by coming to my event or experiencing my product, you get to feel this. So really ask yourself, what is your why? Write your true values down. Maybe even you've got a notepad here today would be perfect. Even on your phone, just ask yourself now, what problem you solve in society? What does your business do to help people? And then use social media to solve that problem. So say it's burnout. I help you women come together, feel elevated, feel a sense of abundance and flow in your life, and I help get rid of burnout. Then women are going to see that and go, oh my God, if she's helped that woman, or if she does that, that's going to help me. Because I think it's something like 60% or 70% of women have felt burnout at some point in their lives. So you can hone in on these trends as well that are going on, like wellness is so big right now. It's actually said that 64% of people in the UK are investing back in their wellness. So people want to hear from you that you can help them grow in wellness and feel good in themselves. So let's start with social media. I want you to set a challenge for 2026. So every day, I want you to have non-negotiables that you do on your social platforms. So whether that is 2 stories a day, 2 reels a week, 1 carousel post a week, perhaps trials reels. So you could do, you can actually do 20, I think it's up to 20 trial reels a day. So if you could even do 1 trial reel a day, that will boost your reach. Because trial reels, what they do is they send out to non-followers. So it's actually, you feel a bit more relaxed about creating the content because you know that your regulars aren't going to see this. It just goes out to the big World Wide Web and it attracts new people into your page. And this is something I've been utilizing this year. And I planned in 2026 is to go big on this and do about 2 or 3 trial reels a day if I can. And same with like blogging on your websites. Actually, one of the most powerful things, if you can do blog posts every day or just align your ChatGPT on your AI to do it for you, you'll get so much more traffic to your website. It's so key to think about SEO and bringing new people and expanding your reach like this. Another thing I want to touch on, and I'll go into more detail, is on newsletter marketing. Because if you're trying to give people value, how much better value could you give than dropping into their inbox every week and sharing with them some useful tools for helping with self-care? Or I often do in my weekly newsletter, the top 3 wellness trends this week in the news. So keep it current, keep it relevant, and I then go into, what's been our favorite things this week, what I've learned. I maybe share a story from a speaker, some takeaways that will help women grow in their businesses. So start to think when you're posting and you're sharing now, whether it's on your newsletter, on LinkedIn, on your website, really giving people value. And I would recommend that you go and write some kind of like a free ebook or do a free meditation or a free recipe that you could gift to your community and say, hey, click on this link and you get this free ebook if you sign up to my newsletter. And you can integrate this. So you need to start thinking of a clear funnel for your next chapter if you haven't got this implemented already. Easy reaches for people. Everyone wants everything easy these days. We're so used to those next day Amazon deliveries, being able to click an order from all these online sites in a click of the button. So people don't want you to say, hey, go to my bio or go to my website and book my event. No, people literally want, I click this button and I book on. So make everything really simple for people on social media. Get all your links in check. I want you to do a little audit of your profile. So go onto your profile today and look, has it got optimal keywords, SEO? Are you really showcasing what your why is and what your mission is? Because people, need it laying out simply. I think we just expect people to know what we do, or they expect people to know our story because we might have told it one time. But actually on social media, you need to be quite repetitive. So I would actually do reintroduction posts every month. I would try and get quite clear on what events you've got coming up or what product launches and repeat them, on your stories. Have a clear plan. You can even save templates that you've made on Canva, a list of upcoming events. So I often do a list of our upcoming events, which I've created on Canva, and then I pin it to my profile. So think about your profile on whether it's whichever platform you're on. You want to have your best posts at the top, your best performing posts and things that showcase what you do as a business. So I like to have a big group of women celebrating, being at one of my events to showcase how powerful it is when you come together with women. And then I'll have a list of my events and then maybe a freebie for them, like a giveaway. So yeah, I hope that's given you some inspiration there. But think about those non-negotiables. So I talked about, 2 stories a day, reels, carousels, and is there any other things that you could implement? People do say to expand your reach, lives do well. So maybe you could reach out to a fellow business owner and say, hey, should we do a live this week and do maybe a giveaway, or can I interview you? And then what happens then is when you collaborate with someone, you audience share. So I absolutely love this strategy to expand your reach is really think about, I'm getting this person involved in my business. They're going to gift some products. Like today, I've got the lovely Activate drinks with us today. And I love promoting these because they're our brand partner. But I might say, hey, well, I'm going to do a giveaway with Activate. We're going to do a shared giveaway that win a month's supply of Activate drinks. If you tag your friends below, both of us will collaborate. So Activate will share on their page. I'll share on mine. We could even get someone else involved in the giveaway, like a spa day, tag them. And then this will probably go up to, usually my giveaways can go up to like 20, 30,000 of views. And it really helps us get more following. So think about that. What brands could you collaborate with? What people? And work with small businesses as well. It really, really does. I think it's always been part of my strategy at Wild and Wild. Even when we had the Wellness Cafe back in 2018, where we started out, even though my agenda was always to have a community-led business, because I felt like it was missing in my hometown. I felt like there was nowhere to go and go to. As a new mum, I started doing like breastfeeding support groups. We had dementia-friendly groups where people could bring the elderly. We had baby groups, massage upstairs. We had yoga classes. There were all sorts of things. So it wasn't just a cafe. It was way more than that. And it's always been my, I think, clear focus. I want to create a community business. So I would always look, what brands can I link with to align to that'll suit my business? And, maybe like some motherhood brands or cool coffee roasters, that would align. And the giveaways we did always brought in the most amount of reach. So really think about that today. The next thing that I'm taking into 2026 is boundaries. Now, this is something I've had to learn the hard way in business, as I often try and do everything and say yes to everyone. And I have to start asking myself, if it's costing me my peace, it's too expensive. So even though some great opportunities arise, like I get brands reaching out to me, loads of people wanting to work with me, but I've started to stop myself because I instantly have that, yes, 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 let's do it. And say, will this bring value to my community? Or is it just for monetary value? And I really think, because I think that abundance is more than just money coming in. It's actually about enjoying the ride of business and enjoying every part and the people you work with. And sometimes, it might be a great deal. You might have someone coming in with thousands of pounds. I want to work with you. Let's do this big event, which I've had before. But actually, their energy really drains you and they're just not aligned with your vision. So this is something I would say, obviously, start your day by protecting your mornings. Maybe you could implement some of the miracle morning that I shared. But I would actually start to say no more. So let's talk about saying no to protect your energy. And sometimes I might even say no. And then when it gets near to it, I might change my mind and be like, actually, I'll reach out to them. I might be able to squeeze that in. But it's actually really empowering to start saying no and then protecting your space. Also, as a mom, I've got 4 children. I do often do too much. So I want to protect the family's peace as well. So I need to learn this more myself, is to say no more. And yeah, and really align to your values. So if something doesn't serve you, don't do it. Next thing I want you to do for 2026 or think about is to focus your attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows and your results grow. So focus is the secret superpower in a world of distraction. Now really think about when you're sometimes sat at your desk, you're having an admin day and your phone is just going off. You get to scrolling, maybe something lights you up on Instagram or TikTok and you just start to procrastinate and you go off. And it happens to all of us, right? Or the door rings or someone calls you and we lose our focus. Now that's natural. There's obviously things like diet, exercise that helps you remain focused. And if you're like me, I have ADHD, so I'm prone to procrastination and getting distracted. So something I really feel is so important is to write a daily checklist. So even before you go to bed, if you've got all these things on your mind, you could write them down, come back to it in the morning and pick 3 or 4 things that you want to focus on that day to get, like, what are your top things in your list? I even put them in a little box and they're my to-do first. And then I have like kind of a little pyramid going on, like where there's like medium level importance and then lower importance. And I know that those high priority lists I need to do myself and I need to get done because it'll serve my community, it'll serve my business and it'll bring in abundance. Now think about lower on that list of things. Could I just perhaps do that another day? Or could I delegate that list out? So obviously, if we have a team, I actually work mostly solo. So I've built the business on my own, like since it's been a women's empowerment business. Obviously, before when I had the wellness cafe, it was different. We had a team of like 15 at one point and it was amazing. But now it's actually been a big transition to go really be more solo working. And I am starting to bring more people into the business. But this is something I'm really having to learn to do. So perhaps you can delegate to your VA and say, hey, well, today I need you to reach out to all these people and get back to them for me. Just voice note them. And if you haven't thought about getting a VA, I would really recommend one. I've got one starting, I think it's next week. And I'm so excited because as I have ADHD, I find I'm great on socials, but I really struggle with emails. And I find that my inbox can build up. And I don't want to seem rude not getting back to people. So I feel like if I could delegate that out to someone else or tick off the list of the top priorities and then delegate to other people, that's great. So some really good advice I got once from my mentor was to get a big A board in your house and to kind of vision out your clear goals for like that quarter, then your big goals for the year and your monetary goals as well. So really have a key figure of what you want to make on the monthly. And I would loved hearing her story because so actually mentioning Sarah Lee Jones as well, a good friend of mine, she started out with, no money, she was a single mom, and she started out saying, oh, I'd just like to make £3,000, and oh, I'd like it to be 5,000. And then she started to set up Centre of Excellence, her online course business. And then she started saying, oh, actually, I want to make 50,000, 100,000. And she carried on up. Obviously, while she's writing all these visions, she's still doing the work, but she's getting focused. Her attention is so focused in on, I need to figure out ways to make this much money this month. So I need to look at affiliates, reaching out to other platforms, getting it. What I loved about her story is she thought, a light bulb moment. If I could reach all English speaking countries, then she knew her business could thrive in all of those countries. So she's gone global in all English speaking countries. And she got cheeky. She approached the voucher sites like Groupon and just was like kind of hassling them a bit, like, you need to get me on your site, until they cracked and said yes. And then she actually had a £2 million month once. And, it just shows you that with clear vision and focus on your attention and your goals, you can do great things. But on this big A board anyway, you can have, weekly goals, monthly goals, big yearly goals, and you can get really clear on your task list of like all the big events. I love Jesse Itzler and his wife. They really inspire me on Instagram. And basically, he actually has a business which is a big calendar. And it's like a giant calendar that you have on your wall, and you put in all the key markers. But what I love about him is he shares that you also need to prioritize family time, trips abroad, all of those things. So he color codes them all. So like his business goals. And he also sets a big challenge for the year and a fitness goal. So he reminded me the other day when I saw a post, like, you need your next fitness goal, because I've just done a marathon. And that was like my big thing. I've been training since last Christmas, training all year for this marathon. And I've done it now. And then you get this low and you feel like, oh, you lose kind of that daily motivation. And now I just need another goal to work up to, right? But we need that in life, in business, for families. We need a holiday, destination that keeps us excited for the year. So I really want you to focus in on, where would you like life to go in 2026, and write it all up. Like, start writing, start really visioning everything. I want to go to Disneyland this year. I want to go to Australia, or I want to do this one thing that's come to me. I want to raise money for a charity, a local Vision, the mental health charity for children in Congleton. They're doing the Great Wall of China. And now I've said it on the podcast, maybe I have to do it. But they're doing this big walk next year. Yeah, so 2026. And I'm thinking of doing it to raise money. And so why not? Like, let's set us these big goals. Sometimes it feels not possible, especially being a mom and a busy business owner, but we all need things to look forward to. So I really want you to focus in on a big, big goal for 2026, like in these areas. So now ask yourself, even write them down if you can on your phone or on a notepad. Just, what is your big fitness goal? All of us could do it. Like, could you do a high rocks? Could you do a 10K? Could you do a challenge, a fitness challenge? Then I want you to have a focus big goal for business. So one for me is writing a book. I'd love to write a book. So I'm going to start putting the seeds in place to do that for next year. And you have to go bigger. Like, I know all of you women listening to this, you have so much potential, and you can do anything you can put your mind to. Like, I started out with no experience in hospitality. I'd never run a cafe. I've never got on stage. I used to actually shake when I'd get on stage. I was so nervous. And now I'm leading these events across the UK, and I feel like I just don't really care what people think anymore. I've got all this confidence, and I feel like I just want to show people that you can actually do anything that you put your mind to. So pick one big focus in business, and then one big exciting trip that you can do with your family or friends, and write them down. Get them on that A board, okay? Sorry, I could talk all day on this. I'm going to keep flowing onto my list now. So this touches on it. So money and abundance mindset. So I want you to really get into that abundance mindset. Every day, those affirmations that 2026 is your year to go bigger. Reframe your money mindset. It's an energy, it's a flow, it's an exchange of your value. And stop giving things away for free. And I know it's tempting, especially when we're starting out, we're a new business. We're like, oh, let's gift these influencers, these friends. But actually, you'll attract the right people. And you need to choose your value, and you need to stick to it. Because I think I started out a bit too, cheap. And you would do that when you're starting out. You just want people to show up. But start really focusing in on that you're worthy of this abundance, because you are. And I'm here to tell you, you are enough, and you should have all of this coming to you right now. So share that mantra that abundance flows. Abundance flows. Yeah. And I would raise your prices, because, everything, other costs are going up in the UK, and, minimum wage goes up in April and all of that. And I think that we do need to raise up our prices each year. We have to do a little audit of our business. And I saw this quote: you don't get what you wish for, you get what you believe you're worthy of. So you really need to work on that self-worth, and things like, I think, practices like yoga, meditation, just being around positive people, like at events, help with that. The next one is really big: relationships and community. I actually touched on this yesterday. We had our big Chester event, one of our events, and I got asked, like, what are your key things for growth in business? And I'd say relationships, and building those relationships with clients and suppliers and venues and all the people you work with on a daily basis. Like, if you can start reaching out to your clients, and I really believe in this power of thank yous, like, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Like, maybe that's when you could give a little offer for them, instead of just offering things for free. Say, hey, you've been with me for a year now. Here's a little discount code to come to one of my next events or to enjoy this. And I feel like relationships are so key, like building good relationships with the people you work with, like the suppliers, just getting them on the phone. I've been so surprised when I get people on the phone, like venues. You start to negotiate better. You start to build this rapport, and they treat you better. And I've had some credible discounts. Or even one business I worked with for 2 years. They gave me the space for free for a whole year. They just said, we just want you to be here. Like, you can pay for drinks and food, but yeah, just use the space. And a lot of venues now, I'm finding that once you start to grow and show that you're community focused, they just gift you things for free. I'd actually say on the daily, I get emails of like, here, let me just send these for your community. And that's why I always say it's so important to grow on your socials, because it's like every post you do could be like a lottery ticket, like to go viral. And when you do go a bit more viral, I'm not saying that I've gone completely viral, because I know I haven't, but I feel like I've got a big following now. And I feel like then brands see that I've got a strong community. Because at the end of the day, it's not even if you have 500 followers or 50,000 followers or 500,000 followers, it only matters about those people that actually follow you, if they're going to show up for you. And I know that, my 20,000 plus followers generally show up and they care, and I'm dropping into their DMs and we talk and we have rapport, and that's what's vital, the relationships you can build in your brand. So don't even stress on the fact that you might only have a few hundred followers. Just start to build those relationships, and then that's when the magic happens, the word of mouth, the sharing, the getting the reviews, and start to nurture those relationships. So before my events, I do a pre-event email, and then I do a post-event email. And I always share about joining up to my mailing list, joining my free online community. So this is big for me. This is what launched a year ago now. I set up this free online membership, and it's actually with a platform called Circle. So you can download the Circle app, and on my profile on Instagram on Wild and Wild Events, you can get the link for the free online community. And in there, you've got yoga classes, breath work, business podcasts, all sorts of things. And it's amazing to me that hundreds of people have signed up now, and I'm giving them value. They go on, they chat to each other, they get referrals, recommendations, they share about who they are, they intro themselves. Now, you can do something like that. You can create a platform for your clients or a newsletter that goes out weekly. Relationships are so key, so don't forget that. So if your clients love you and believe in you, they're going to be the ones that become your biggest marketing team. They're going to be the ones sharing about you. Referrals are great, so maybe give people referral codes. So I challenge you now to go and reach out to your top 10 clients and treat them like VIPs. Maybe even arrange to go and meet up for a coffee. Let's all meet up, and I want to treat you for a coffee, or chat to them, give them a free webinar, something like that. The next thing I want you to take into 2026 is letting go of what people think of you. This is probably the biggest thing that comes up at my events, where people say, I just couldn't share like you. Like, I don't like getting my face on social media. Like, what about if people judge me? What about if they, my friends or family see it? And I'm like, you know what? First of all, I did a post about this the other day. Friends and family usually aren't your biggest supporter. Like, it's just fact. It's psychology. You usually reach out to new clients and you bring in new people. And second of all, it doesn't really matter. Like, even if they see a few posts, you're stepping into your authentic power. You're trying to build a life for you and your family. So they should be supporting you. And if they're not, they can do one. Like, I don't mean do one by get off your social media. They can unfollow you, and that's fine. You want to attract people that generally care about you. And it doesn't matter about the people that judge you, because they'll usually just unfollow you anyway if they don't believe in what you're doing. So your business is no one else's business, and it's yours to focus on. And you just need to know that you're the most powerful part of it. And dropping that comparison literally frees you. And it took me a while. I remember when we got advice to go on our stories daily when we had the Wellness Cafe and to share about what we're up to and all of this. I got the advice of these twins. Some of you might know them, the Irish beautiful twins, the happy pair. I want to give them a shout out because they let us go over to Ireland and we went to visit their cafe. And they invited us in the Irish Sea, do the dip with them and for yoga in the morning. And then they sat down and had a little meeting with us and gave us some business advice, which was first, know your P&L and keep track of that, which, is important too. But also to be very social and get on the stories daily, to engage with your audience. And I remember just setting up the cafe. I said, this is back in 2018 when not many people were doing daily stories. And I just went, I'm going to do it. And I felt so weird at first. It felt so cringe. I thought no one is going to care about me getting up, going on a run in the morning, getting down to my cafe, setting up the place. But then I realized, people are really nosy. They love it. They love the behind the scenes. They love meeting the team. They love all the dressing that goes in on setting up your business. And it really worked for me. And I actually think that was the thing that set us apart from all the businesses. And that's why we had people traveling from London, from Manchester, and probably why we got so many opportunities to go on TV shows. Like, we got ourselves out there, and I just didn't really care what people thought. I mean, it did at first, but then it just started to drop off my shoulders when I saw the positive feedback loop. So we would literally have people like, I saw your story today and I've driven from Manchester. Oh my God, I saw that and I ordered off your website. Oh my God, I've come down just for that cake because I saw you share that. And that is the power. Like, if you're holding back on sharing on your socials, don't. Because people don't know what you offer until you show them. And you have to repeat it on the daily as well. You have to be repetitive because, not everyone sees every post. So share your own story and step into your authentic power. And really think every time you post on socials, I'm telling a story. I want to relate to people. And people care about you being real and raw and honest. So actually, when I started to share, like, I lost my mom and I went through grief, and I actually had this miscarriage during a really busy height of our wellness cafe, and people were like, whoa, I've also been on that journey. Oh, I went through loss, but I've never shared it with anyone. And I actually feel like it's really empowered me to go, I need to be this voice for women that don't have a voice. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get emotional now because there's so many women out there that I couldn't believe it. Like, after I went through my loss, and I didn't think I'd be talking about this today, that literally said they went back to work after a miscarriage and didn't tell anyone. And then how are these people to know that they have been struggling and they've been through one of the darkest points of their life? Like, as women, we need to support each other. And we often do find that in scrolling on Instagram and finding someone that's relatable. And I just want you to know you can raise your voice and share your story because people do care. We care. Okay. So just remember that people buy from people, not logos, not a perfect, pristine Instagram or TikTok. We get so caught up on the perfect content. And actually, sometimes it's just about being consistent, showing up. I've kind of dropped the lens of having this perfect set or even having my hair perfect. Like, even today, I'm just like, I've rocked up, I'm here, I've shown up for my business, I'm doing this beautiful podcast. And sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like, you don't have to, I've not even got any mascara on today, or, I've just shown up a bit raw and real, and that's fine. So from that, your challenge is to start showing up on video, your face, telling your story. So that's your challenge. And let people feel your energy. And I'm going to be looking out for you. Tag us in on Wild and Wild events. And remember as well, you've got your business pages, but what about you? Because a big change that's coming is all about people's personal brand. Now, I could talk about this all day again, but personal brands are so, so important in this day and age because firstly, it helps with your business as well, but it also helps you build something away from your business. Because let's say one day you want to sell your business. If you have this incredible personal brand where you've built this incredible business, you're a CEO, you do public speaking, you go on these shows, you've done this podcast, you're building a brand and you're building authority in a space where you have power. So this is something I'm focusing on actually the next year because I'm great on my Wild and Wild page. I've got a power there, but I need to nurture my personal brand. April Dawn Wild is of me because I've actually decided I'm going to get on stage. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to tell my story more. Part of the reason I set up this podcast, I want to share what I've learned along the way in business. So that's something that I would recommend as well is if you haven't started your own personal page, start building that. Show the life of a female founder. Show the raw, the real, the nitty gritty of life and start to do B-roll on the daily. So if you don't know what B-roll is, it's just grabbing your phone out and getting daily videos of your mundane actions, getting up, making breakfast, getting in the car, going to buy a coffee, sitting in a local independent shop, doing your work, whatever it is, going to networking, going to meetings. And then you have this incredible album of B-roll video where you can just pick at and do some really cool reels and create, so like day in the life of. So that's my recommendation. Go and build a personal brand. So yeah, I just wanted to close with a little affirmation. So as you walk into 2026, I want you to remember this. You are your greatest investment. Protect your peace, focus your power, and trust that what's meant for you will never miss you. This is your year to rise, expand, and lead with wild, grounded confidence. Thanks, everyone.